think I'm the only person who likes Monday this much. It's outnumbered over time.
Because it's not
baby.
your Monday.
Yeah, it is.
We talked about this. No, Harris, you do the Fox Report on Sunday nights. So technically, Sundays are your Monday. So this is your Tuesday. This is our Monday. So we can be sad.
Wow. Okay, I don't think I can argue with that. I mean, that's some logic in there.
She makes a point.
Yeah, okay.
Because every Monday she's always like, woo-woo, Monday OT, baby. And we're all like, Monday. And she's like, why? It's my Monday, too. No, it's not.
It's my Tuesday. Okay, technically. All right, so during the show, we were talking about the Saints-Bengals game and how the woman who's a big Bengals fan was about to catch the touchdown pass that the player had tossed up to her. Gresham, I think, had tossed up to her after he made the touchdown. And she went to get it, and some dude elbowed her out of the way and took it. He was a Saints fan. I mean, I don't even know why he wanted it. Jedediah said she would have taken that ball back.
He'd be in the hospital right now.
Right? S. Denard writes on the live chat, because you said you've done this before at a different game.
Oh, yeah.
But what did Jedediah throw at the guy at the baseball game? Was it well cooked? Anyway, we know someone got cooked.
And to your answer, Andrea, he would have been in the hospital, not me.
But what happened the first time? How did you get the first ball back? I think that's...
Oh, I just went in and did for... I'm aggressive. I mean, I'm a tiny girl, but, you know, you all want to bring out a push-up mat. You know, I can
Can you do it with me on your back?
I went in. You got to use your strength. You know, it's funny. On 9/11, this is, you know, it was a terrible day. But I remember running through the streets, and I remember feeling so small. And I remember learning, like, to use your weight, and after that day, whenever I got into a boxing ring or anything, I always realized your whole body is full of weapons. You got elbows, you got everything. So when I want something, man, Andrea, I go in and I get it, and I just shove. You got to learn to you take what you need to take.
So, guys, why do you think the guys in the stands didn't jump in and get that ball back for that girl?
There's a possibility. It happened very quickly. The cameras barely caught it, right? So people may not have seen it.
No, I mean,
she needed guys to step in for. Where are you going with that?
She's challenging the premise here.
What about some ladies could have stepped forward too, Harris? I'm just saying.
I'm just curious because I think guys would have. I think that guys would have probably stood up and said, "Dude, give her the ball back," or I don't know. Guys do stuff like that, so I'm curious to know what our guy thinks about it.
I would say that no matter their gender, the fans could have applied pressure if they had seen it. My point is, I don't think they saw what happened. There's replay. Everyone on TV could see what happened, courtesy of replay. It happened so fast, people in the stadium probably had no idea.
If I was sitting next to the guy who did that, I would have made the rest of the game a living hell for him.
Well, we know that. We don't.
Really, dude? You know, pelted things at his head?
I mean, no. You should have to get up.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry, my
coming through, going to the bathroom.
Got up to go to the bathroom like 10 times, walking in front of him.
On big plays?
Just anything. I don't know. I would have thought of everything. I don't know that I could be physically abusive like Jedediah is suggesting.
I could make that happen.
I don't think I have that in me.
Matt H.H. writes, Jedediah Rocky.
Well, thank you. I'll
Rocky
consider that
Bila.
for Halloween next year.
Rocky Bila. Joel in Wisconsin. Harris, is that the same dress you wore last month? Laugh out loud. Just kidding.
Very
So we were talking about that guy, the news anchor. Where was he? Was
Australia.
Oh, okay, Australia. I was going to say Canada.
Harris, you would notice if you wore the same suit every day. And you
oh, my gosh. I would totally notice if somebody wore the same thing. And I knew you had only switched up your tie, which is why I said on the air, I said, yeah, but you wore the same jacket.
Yeah, thanks for calling me out.
Well, no, I mean, we were talking about it.
I would never notice.
Well, no, but that's the thing. Like, for me, it's just different jeans, sock, but it's the tie for men, really, that is the only thing that people tend to notice. And except, remember President Obama showed up in that tan suit once, and people freaked out because people are used to dark suits for men.
I liked him in the tan suit.
No, I don't understand. Everyone went crazy over that.
I liked it too.
I love tan suits.
And then the pocket square can also throw people off.
That is, I don't do pocket squares, but apparently they're like a big thing. The accessory that you can add to the top. But you know what
is enviable is that you can show up on. I mean, you're somewhat casually dressed, but you still look great on television.
Well,
however, you've barely tied your laces on your what appears to be boat shoes.
Yeah, these are topsiders.
Now that we're jealous of because that looks very comfortable.
Yeah,
they are very comfortable, and the reason actually that I'm wearing these shoes, and there's an actual story here.
There's water nearby.
Instead of nicer shoes, no. know, the airline lost my luggage last night, so I don't have my stuff. So this was
So where'd you
what I
get
was
these
wearing.
shoes?
This is what I was wearing.
Wow, your tie matches your
Wait,
socks,
so you would have,
which is nice.
You wore.
Okay, so I was flying from Florida back to D.C. last night.
Okay.
And so the rest of my outfit is stuff that I had at home, but my dress
the bottom
shoes,
half, the top. Would you have matching suit pants, or you just would have more dressy shoes?
I would have had dressier shoes.
Okay, but the jeans you would have worn.
Jeans, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Dark
See,
jeans.
the difference is, though, a woman would have been like, where's the nearest shoe store? And, like, would have gone out and bought a pair of shoes, even if
no.
it's like...
I was like,
Use any excuse.
It's inconvenient, although I would appreciate it if United Airlines could get me my stuff back. Thank you.
Are you talking about Rory
You just said
McIlroy?
that on the air.
Rory
Yeah.
McIlroy,
Probably
they lost
should've.
his golf clubs when he went to go play I think it was the British Open.
That's a really bad thing.
Was that
he
before
tweeted
after
it.
he broke up his
And
engagement
and they
on
got
the
them
phone?
to him.
Which
Yes.
airline? Do you know?
United.
Was it?
It might have been a
Yeah.
flight
Is he a
attendant
nice
mad at him for
person,
breaking off
Sandra?
his
My
engagement.
understanding is he's an incredibly nice person, and there are stories and video footage of him like stopping to talk to little kids on the course and high-fiving, and you know, it's not exactly Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods has always been kind of like, well, and I've defended Tiger Woods because you know, I understand that it takes an incredible amount of mental focus, and to stop and talk to fans, I think would throw me off too.
Yeah, well,
so I
he's got
kind of
a-
defend him, but Rory McIlroy is known to be a very nice guy. In the
Tiger Woods had another focus that was
I
the
don't think
problem.
women really care about that, though. I think that we think, you know, I shouldn't say we. Caroline Wozniacki, who was wasn't he engaged
love her,
to her?
yeah,
and,
yes.
and didn't he break up in like a text or a phone call or something? I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. What
Yeah.
about Mickelson? I've heard mixed on him.
He's a fan
know all these
favorite.
golfers.
He is a lefty. He's known as Lefty. He's a fan favorite, as well as his wife, who suffered a bout with cancer and came out of that. The golf community was in huge support of her, yelling Amy and chanting Amy on the course. I went to the PGA Championships out on Long Island and saw that firsthand. But Lefty is loved. Everybody loves to follow Tiger Woods. Rory McIlroy's a new favorite.
Well, okay, so if I could
about
be on the
Bubba?
live chat, I want to
Bubba
ask
Watson's
you.
a favorite until
Bubba.
he just kind of ruined things a little bit. Apparently, he pulled a fast one in France. Like
A fast one?
I don't know. I don't remember the whole story, but Bubba he had a rough little.
How do you pull a fast
public
one on a golf
relations
course?
thing. No, he was at his hotel.
Oh,
One of those kind of fast ones.
whoopsie daisy.
No, no,
Mistakes were made?
No, not like a sexual thing at all.
What's your nickname?
It was
on
a
the golf
personality
course?
thing.
What do people call you on the golf course?
No, I'm not a professional golfer.
No, but you're good though. All right. So on the live chat, I mean, this is a hard turn, but this is what people are talking about. NG34 executive order for nearly 5 million illegal immigrants.
Andrea.
What about the remaining 6 million or more? Do criminals get to stay? This is going to be a mess. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you look at the bill that Congress put together that didn't make it through to the president's desk, yes, criminals could stay. And Democrats and even some Republicans had trouble, Marco Rubio included, explaining that provision to me when I asked him about it. It's a 3-strike provision. So basically, if you committed something like identity fraud or you forged documents, which a lot of times illegal immigrants do, not once, not twice, but 3 times, you still get citizenship. Now imagine if we did that. If any of us got in any kind of legal trouble, we would, I mean, the writing would be on the wall for us. Not the way that the Senate drafted this bill, that gang of, I forget how many there was at the
8.
time. 8.
Yeah.
You could have committed these crimes. And I remember at the time saying, Senator Rubio, how is this possible? And he said, we're working to get these provisions out, acknowledging that you could commit these crimes and stay in the
it's a
country.
problem.
So yes, I'm sure that there's got to be some way that there would be, I mean, he's not deporting them now.
So is there, it's a delayed deportation.
Right,
I get
which
it.
Britt, you made a great point earlier this morning. What's the difference then? I mean, this may all be for PR as well.
It could
this
be.
Executive
Work
order
permits.
because
Work permits.
It could be.
he's
But
not
I don't
deporting
want to
them
wait
now.
to
It's
read
status quo.
the bill after it passes. I think we need to know what it says, because if it does what you just described more immediately on the back end, it may not do it while he's in the White House, President Obama. But if if there's more expediency to the process on the back end, we need to know that. That means 5 years from now.
But in this case,
executive order covers
there's
the criminality portion. This was just that bill that.
You know what I am
The
curious
gang of
about,
eight
though? And you don't hear people really talking about this, but President Reagan wanted to do some sort of amnesty. What
He
is
did.
the
He signed it.
difference?
He-
What
it
is-
was a bill.
What
It
is
was
the
law.
difference between what President Reagan wanted and what we're seeing as potentially by executive order? that you know of?
Well, I mean, you hit on the most important thing. That was a law that was duly passed by Congress and signed by the president, which he did push for. And the sales pitch that President Reagan made, and I've only read about this, obviously, but was that we need to do this once and for all and deal with the problem. And people who are here, if they check all these boxes, they can stay, and then we'll tighten up the border and we'll fix the problem. Well, no, that's what they say every time, I think, is the problem. And so I think what a lot of conservatives like myself who are open to immigration reform, we want to see actual competence from the government at securing the border first, because they always say that'll come eventually, and then it doesn't.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm also curious from the perspective of somebody who's been in the classroom with kids, and I know that you were a dean as well. You know, you hear stories about these kids, just school systems across the country being inundated with these children in the classrooms. They're going to school. They're potentially going to be deported, these illegal children who come over. I think an estimated 70,000 of them now. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's a big problem. I think that's the part of the story that really hits everybody's heart, because these are kids that have done nothing, no fault of their own. You know, they're not lawbreakers, and you don't want to make life harder for them. You know, they're struggling with issues oftentimes. Some of them are poor kids. So that's why I think Guy's point about securing the border first is so pivotal, because unless you do that, you are going to constantly have this problem. The schools aren't going to stop getting flooded. None of the other issues are going to resolve unless that's prioritized. And unfortunately, this administration and others have not made that a top priority. But yeah, Harris, if you're asking if I've seen that, absolutely. And I think that's a point everybody across the political spectrum empathizes with, because these are children, and no one wants to see them suffer as a result of decisions that their parents made.
And now back to golf. And Sandra, particularly.
I knew that was
Nook 5 wants to say this. Lefty is not loved by all. He is not always amiable to fans. Who again is Lefty? I got lost.
Okay, Phil Mickelson. Okay, so, are you accurate in saying not loved by all? Yes, not everyone. He happens to be a fan favorite. People love Phil Mickelson. You can go to any golf tournament in the United States where he is
women
playing,
like him
and
too,
people
right?
follow
Big time.
him. Women like Phil Mickelson. He's
he a hottie?
Family guy.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry.
I think he's a family man. I think
Family men can be hot too.
He's been on the tour a long time, and he's put up a good fight up against Tiger Woods through his long-lasting career.
What about Sergio
All right.
Garcia?
He's cute.
Amazing.
Sergio.
But he's a very
He is amazing.
Yeah, no.
Oh yes, he is.
Very good golfer, and he's a very sincere guy, and he's liked on.
I'm putting that on the live chat in case Sergio Garcia is watching us
I don't know
right
who any
now.
of these people are. I
At
need a
some
visual
point,
aid
maybe
or
it'll
something.
have to be next time. I do want to
just
hear about
love
the
that
public
golf
breakup that
insight
you
from
witnessed.
Sandra Smith.
Because that was on the live chat.
Oh, yeah.
So Jedediah
Next
was
time.
witness.
Love
So maybe
that
you'll
golf.
tweet me about that
I will
later.
tweet you about
All right, we are out of here. Outnumbered Overtime is going to wrap it up. We'll see you for the TV version of us at noon Eastern tomorrow. Have a good one. Happy Monday.
Oh my God.